Introducing Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's as a rival to Stardust Dragon, Red Dragon Archfiend is a deck focused around its titular synchro monster and its evolutions. While its rivals specialize in protection, Red Dragon Archfiend focuses on destruction, summoning powerful monsters to overwhelm their opponents. Along with their supporting archetype, the Fiend Resonators, they've gotten support throughout the years, although they've never been a particularly competent deck. But this may yet change with the release of their structure deck, Pulse of the King. Getting into the list, we have the new Soul Resonator, a level 3 Fiend tuner that searches for a level 4 lower Fiend monster if summoned, but locks you into Dark Synchro monsters from your extra deck for the rest of the turn. If a card you control be destroyed while you control a Red Dragon Archfiend or a Synchro monster that mentions it, you can banish this from your graveyard instead. Soul Resonator gives Red Dragon Archfiend what they previously lacked, a normal summon, allowing us to do a 1.5 card combo when used in conjunction with our other new card, Bone Archfiend. This is a level 4 Fiend that can special summon itself from your hand or graveyard by sending a card from your hand or field to the graveyard, but locks you into Dark Dragon Synchro monsters from your extra deck. It can target a monster you control to send a Fiend tuner from your hand or deck to the graveyard and increase or decrease its level by 1, an effect we will usually use to decrease its own level to synchro summon Red Rising Dragon, allowing us to revive the Fiend tuner we sent. What we'll be looking to send and revive is Crimson Resonator, a level 2 tuner which can special summon itself from your hand if you control no monsters, and if the only other monster you control is a Dark Dragon Synchro monster, can special summon up to 2 Resonator monsters from your deck. Besides the previously mentioned Soul Resonator, our other targets are Vision Resonator, a level 2 that can special summon itself from your hand if there's a level 5 or higher Dark monster in the field, and if sent to the graveyard such as a spell or trap that mentions Red Dragon Archfiend. As well as Synchron Resonator, a level 1 that can special summon itself if there's a Synchro on the field, and if sent from the field to the graveyard, can add a Resonator from the graveyard to your hand. Another target we run to send with Bone Archfiend is Obsessive Overloop, a level 4 Fiend tuner that if in your hand can banish a Synchro monster you control or in your graveyard to special summon itself, and if in your graveyard can do the same to add itself to your hand. The last Fiend we run is Earthbound Stonesweeper, a level 5 that can special summon itself if there's a fail spell on the field, and can discard itself from your hand to search for a level 3 or lower Fiend tuner, which all our Resonators are, at the cost of locking itself into fusions and synchros. We run Bisho Seal to their synergy with the deck, Lubellion, Magnamut, Druisworm and Baldric, rounding out our monster lineup with Maxi and Ash Blossom. For spells and traps, we have Crimson Gaia, a continuous spell that during our main phase allows us to search for a card that mentions Red Dragon Archfiend. If a monster is destroyed, it can special summon a Red Dragon Archfiend from our graveyard, and if a Red Dragon Archfiend attacks, you can flip all monsters your opponent controls face down, allowing the Red Dragon Archfiend to destroy the board with its own effect. We have Resonator Call, the Resonator Rota, Called by the Grave and Crossout Resonator, as well as Branded Regained and Branded Beast to round out our Bisho package. Next, we have Red Zone, a continuous trap that has 2 effects. First, when your opponent activates a card effect while you control a Red Dragon Archfiend or a Synchro monster that mentions it, you can target and destroy a card. Secondly, you can target one of your banished Dark Dragon Synchro monsters and special summon it, allowing us to effectively revive our hard to summon synchros as we have plenty of ways to banish them. Finally, we run Infinite Impermanence for some additional hand traps. For our extra deck, we mostly run Dark Dragon Synchros. Red Rising Dragon is a level 6 that special summons a Resonator from the graveyard when synchro summoned, but you can only summon Dark Dragon Synchros from your extra deck the turn you activate this effect. During your main phase, except the turn it was sent to the graveyard, you can banish Red Rising Dragon from the graveyard to special summon 2 level 1 Resonators from your graveyard. This effect occasionally comes up, but Red Rising Dragon is mainly here to help us climb into our larger synchros such as Red Dragon Archfiend, a level 8 that's treated as Red Dragon Archfiend while on the field or in the graveyard. If sent from the monster zone to the graveyard, it special summons the original Red Dragon Archfiend from your extra deck, treating it as a synchro summon, and if it was sent as a material for a Dark Dragon Synchro, it also destroys all attack position monsters your opponent controls. Just make sure not to keep the Red Dragon Archfiend on board as it will destroy all your monsters that didn't attack during the end phase. We also have Chaos Ruler as another level 8 that excavates for a light or dark monster when synchro summoned and can special summon itself from the graveyard by banishing a light and dark monster from your graveyard. Finally, we have our bosses. Hard Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss is a level 9 that as a quick effect can target and negate a face-up card on the field until the end phase, and if it deals battle damage to your opponent, can special summon a tuner from the graveyard. Baron gives us a generic Omni-Negate that we can sometimes access, while Bisho Dispater can negate or destroy monsters, as well as special summon back a banished dark or light monster. We'll mostly be relying on these monsters, but other Red Dragon Archfiend monsters, Bane, Tyrant, King Calamity, Red Nova, and Supernova often come up. The structure deck has really revamped the Red Dragon Archfiend strategy. Soul Resonator and Bone Archfiend give the deck a 1.5 card combo that they can reliably surge, while Vision Resonator and Crimson Gaia give them access to their previously untouchable lineup of support. This means that the biggest issue that Red Dragon Archfiend previously faced is now solved, allowing them to access their powerful boss monsters much more reliably, with even monsters like Red Supernova Dragon now able to be summoned with relative ease. That being said, although the Resonator side of the deck is now competent, the deck still lacks in the non-tuner department, and even though cards like Red Dragon Archfiend help out by acting as multiple bodies, the deck often finds itself with too many tuners and too little of the latter. This means that we have to resort to external support such as the B-Shields to help bulk up their numbers, and although we can work around this weakness, it's still one to keep in mind. All in all, what the new support has accomplished is admirable, and after years of waiting, Red Dragon Archfiend finally makes its debut as a self-contained, competent deck.